There's a cow over there. I'm guessing it's mud on her head, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, we'll call that mud. Hey guys, welcome back. We get tons of questions all the time, whether it's through email or Facebook or YouTube or wherever it may be. And today we are spotlighting Instagram. As Erin posted a really quick Instagram post earlier today, asked you to ask questions to ask in today's video, and then I get to answer those questions as I'm going out and heading around. Just like, how many animals do you have on the ranch? We've got animals everywhere. We've got a kitten right here, a little one-eyed kitten, actually. Back here, we've got goats, and we've got more cats, and we've got pigs and everything else all over the place. But that's something that you can catch from watching every single other video that we put out. So we figured we wanted to answer some questions that maybe we've never answered before, maybe we've never actually taken a look at. So we're gonna head through this really bright door here and start answering those questions. And if you don't follow us on Instagram, you didn't get the chance to ask one. So head on over to Instagram, Our Wyoming Life, sign up there, follow along as we post behind the scenes content, videos, pictures, all kinds of stuff that you don't get on YouTube or Facebook or anywhere else. Well, sometimes you get them on Facebook. They kind of go together. But Erin posted the question down there. What do you want to ask in today's video? And we start out right over here by the fuel tanks with our very first question from Vishwin Daman. I love some of these usernames people come up with. All right, his question was, how much fuel do you go through on the ranch and how do you store it? How much does it cost? All those kind of good questions. So this is actually where we store fuel on the ranch. We've got a diesel fuel tank, and then I've got a 500-gallon unleaded fuel tank. This one's about 250, 300 gallons for diesel, 500 for unleaded. I just filled the diesel tank not too long ago. We paid $2.91 a gallon for diesel, which is really good. The problem is that we don't get to drive with this diesel on the highway. It's actually an off-road use only. It's a dyed diesel, so it's dyed red. So if you get caught with it in a vehicle that runs diesel, then yeah, it's gonna cost you a pretty big ticket. So that's how we save money on it. We don't have to pay the Wyoming highway tax and all that kind of good stuff with it. Over here, our unleaded tank, amazingly enough, as we've been switching over, especially my pickup, now that I've got a diesel pickup, we don't go through as much unleaded as we used to. The only thing really on the ranch that runs unleaded is the Gator, four-wheelers, and lawnmowers. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is diesel. So it's kind of nice to be able to move over that direction. So we have these fuel tanks here that they have an electric pump on them. And actually we need to get some fuel in the Gator before we head down to check cows. You're coming along with me to do that, and we're gonna answer more questions along the way. Is it nice having your own fuel tank? Yeah, it's very nice. Until you screw up and put unleaded in a tractor or diesel in the Gator, which has happened. You really quickly drain the tank and start over. So when Gilbert, my father-in-law, was alive, we didn't have fuel tanks on the ranch. We had to go fill up 5-gallon buckets all the time, or 5-gallon cans, not buckets, 5-gallon gas cans all the time. Giant pain in the butt. So I'm actually very happy that we have fuel tanks. One. So it's been a really kind of a laid-back day on the ranch today. We've gotten a little bit of rain. I got to stop up here and open the gate. I'll actually check on my phone and see exactly how much rain we've gotten over the last 24 hours. I'm guessing probably about 1/3 of an inch or so, but maybe a little bit more. We're expecting more rain tonight, so it's definitely helped out with the fire danger. It's not helping out so much with the hay situation, of course. That moment has passed and gone, but it is definitely keeping the fire danger down, which is what we're worried about at this point. So get this gate open for us. We've got some steers out here that's why we've got this gate closed so the steers can't come in. I'm going to check my phone here really quick and see how much rain we did end up getting. And my phone says in the last 24 hours, no service. There it is. Oh, we didn't even get as much as I thought we did. A little bit over 1/4 of an inch in the last 24 hours, 0.26 inches. So that's all that we've gotten in the last 24 hours. I really thought it was going to be a little bit more, but it's not. I'm taking you with me today. We're going to go down and check the cows. We're going to keep on answering these Instagram questions. And our next one comes from LG2TK, which basically asked if we could pick up the ranch and move it anywhere and continue operations anywhere in the United States or any other country. Where would we like to do that? And it's a question that I've actually asked myself quite a few times. Over the last, 12 years that we've been here on the ranch, it's really kind of grown on me, the good and the bad. And it seems like there's more bad sometimes because it's easy for us to fixate on the bad stuff. But when I look out over this prairie, actually, hold on one second. I'm going to answer this text. The girls, Mackenzie and Grace, are now taking horse riding lessons, and Madison, who's their instructor, it's going to be raining tomorrow morning, supposedly. So she wanted to see if she could reschedule their horse lesson till tomorrow afternoon. So let me just answer this really quick. Let me know what works for you. Perfect. Okay, now moving the ranch, picking up and moving the ranch to wherever. Everything seems to grow on you. Every single piece of sagebrush and every dip and every hollow and every little thing you got to drive through, they all just start to feel like home, right? So yeah, I've asked myself that question many times. Like, if I could pick up the ranch and move it wherever I wanted to move it, it's like, hey, I would love to go somewhere where it rains, right? I'd love to go somewhere where I could irrigate, where different types of grasses would grow, and we wouldn't be stuck out here in the basically sandy loam soil with very little topsoil and prairie grass, and we could grow crops, and we could do all kinds of different things, and it all sounds great until it always seems like I talk to somebody who has that, and I realize that they've got their own problems, whether they can't put up hay because it's too wet. They can't, they're out there. A good example is when we first started on YouTube, and I got a comment during a haying video, and somebody says, well, where's your tedder? And I was like, what the hell is a tedder? I had no idea what a tedder was. We don't have to deal with that here. We cut the hay, and these are hay fields here. We cut the hay, and the next day, or sometimes 2 days later, it's ready to bale. It's dry. We don't have to keep flipping it over. I had to actually look up and see what a tedder was. It's an implement that's used to dry hay. I had no idea. We'd never even seen one up here. So I think that no matter where you go, you're going to run into problems. You're going to have issues. There's no magical place where you can make farming or ranching work perfectly. I think that taking what you have and trying to build it on it, trying to make it better, which is what we're trying to do, through local food sales, through soil amendments, through everything else that we're trying to do out here, even seeding and some other things. And that's another thing that ticks me off is no matter where you go, you're at the mercy of the weather, right? So this year, I was actually planning on I was going to do a lot of soil work. We were going to do some fertilizer stuff this fall. We were going to maybe reseed some this fall. With the drought the way it is, even though we've gotten that 1/4 inch of rain today, it's hard to be able to justify saying, okay, now I'm going to go out and put a seed in very dry soil and hope that something happens over the winter, and that makes it pretty tough. So, if I could pick up the ranch and move it anywhere, I wouldn't. Honestly, I would keep it right where it's at, because I know what is that old saying? The devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And I know what I have to deal with here. I wouldn't know what I'd have to deal with somewhere else, and I'd have to learn that all over again. Look at that. The new Gator already has 1,354 miles on it. Can you believe that? All of that ranch driving. Never been off the ranch with it, so we put on some miles. How long have we had this thing? What, a couple months? No, we got it during calving, so we got it in April or May, somewhere in there. So we've had it for a few months, but it's definitely gotten some work on it. We have been driving the four-wheelers more in the summertime when it's 97 degrees out, like it was just 2 days ago. It's much nicer to drive a four-wheeler now that we're down into the 60s here for the next few days. Yeah, it's nice to be back in the Gator. So having the right equipment definitely makes your life a lot easier. This is summer pasture, about what, 2,500 acres, 2,300 acres, something like that, that the cows are down here, and for the summer they basically have free range of this entire place, and our job today is to come down and find them and make sure everybody's okay, but they look pretty scattered. We've been hauling water for the cows here for the last, what, couple months. And right now we actually are not hauling water because we have them down by the wooden windmill, which is pumping water for them, and they're able to get away from it just a little ways. So first thing we're going to do is run down and check that windmill, make sure that it's working okay, and then we are going to swing up through the cows and take a look at the cows. We'll answer a few more questions. Man, these cows are scattered down here. They are spread literally over, I don't know, at least a mile, maybe more of ground. Of course, acres wise, I couldn't tell you, but they are spread, you know, from all the way over here to way back there. So they're really spread out. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. We're going to check out the wooden windmill, just make sure everything's still working with it. The water's still pumping. We actually have an overflow on it that's filling up a little pond for these guys in case we have a day when there's no wind. It's still pumping. So there's the windmill there. All this wooden bracing, by the way, just kind of keeps the cows out of the water, which sometimes they will go and hang out in the water. It seems to be pumping just fine. The overflow is working, filling up a little pond for them. So all looks good here. I'm going to just leave that running for now. We can actually shut off these windmills, but it'll be fine just sitting here running for a little bit. Okay, we've got to drive through cows. We've got to check on all these cows. So we are going to start by swinging up way up there in that direction, hitting our farthest out, and then we'll catch them all as we come back. Just got another text, this one from the horse trainer. She said, we're going to do lessons tomorrow. That's no problem. Oh, and here's something cool. You can actually, so we set up a deal on our website. You can buy beef jerky on our website, and we set up a deal where you can actually leave reviews now on the jerky or whatever else, t-shirts or whatever else you buy from our website. So this just came through. Jeffrey Bordeaux just left a review on our website about our jerky, and he said, I have been a jerky lover and maker, which is pretty impressive, for 40 plus years. This original beef jerky has a texture and a flavor like nothing I have ever tasted. This is an excellent recipe. I'm gonna approve that review. That's definitely going on the website. All right, let's head up, find ourselves some cows. Hey, you're thirsty. How are you? 140. How you doing? So you notice that this grass, I mean, there's really nothing right here, and cows tend to spiral out from wherever there's water. So obviously there's water there at the windmill, and then as they eat down in this area, they'll spiral their way away from that windmill. So the farther out we go, the more grass there should be, although we don't have a whole lot of grass to start with because it is a drought year. And that leads us right into our next question from Instagram today. Hey guys. Our next question comes from No Skills Racing, and he asked, with hay prices as high as they are, will we be actually reducing or breeding less of the herd this year? And unfortunately, Yeah, my answer is yes to that question. Hay prices are through the roof. Obviously, if you can't afford to feed them, you can't keep them. And one of the things that I've been looking at a lot is the price per truckload. So you see a truckload of hay. And last year we were able to get truckloads of hay. And we were in a drought last year, but prices weren't as high. So I don't think the drought was as widespread as it is this year. But last year we were getting in a truckload of hay, which is basically, if we just kind of averaged out, about 30 bales of hay. So it'd be enough to feed the cows for 10 days during the winter, or at least, everything on the ranch for about 10 days. So if that truckload cost us, I think it was about $3, maybe $4,000 last year, somewhere in there. So that truckload would feed the cows for 10 days, basically, right? So $4,000 for 10 days worth of feed. Now we're looking at actually bringing in truckloads of hay that are going to cost us about $7,000, almost twice the cost. So to be able to feed the same number of cows for 10 days, we're looking at $7,000 or $8,000. So really quick, actually, let me grab my calculator here because this is crazy. So we feed 180 days out of the year. So I got to do that 18 times. So if I would have had to buy hay for everybody out here right now at $7,000 a truckload, that's $126,000 worth of hay. That's crazy. That's the first time I've done that. Last year, we had to buy it at about $3,000. I'm going to say $3,500 just to split the difference, truckload. And so that was $63,000 worth of hay. So obviously, you have to do something to reduce costs. And what we're going to end up doing is actually reducing the size of the herd. Hi, Bambi. How are you? Bambi, yesterday, I didn't bring any cake. I should have brought cake. Kenzie and Jeff came out. Jeff, the ranch hand Jeff, came out looking for Bambi yesterday and couldn't find her. Apparently the trick is you let her find you. How are you? Are you okay? I'm sorry, I didn't bring any cake. I'm sorry. I know you're mad at me now. But good news is that Bambi probably not going anywhere. You're safe. And so are you, number 8. I kind of like you, even though you're like a real cranky mom at calving time. But some of these cows are. You got little flies on you. Hey, oh, don't bump into me. A little bit of flies. Not bad though. Not horrible for as dry as it is. How are you, Bambi? How you doing? She wants cake. That's all she cares about. Give me cake. That's all I want. All right, so Bambi obviously is fine. That was one of my orders from Mackenzie when I came out. Make sure you find Bambi. So we found Bambi. And there's a cow over there. I'm guessing it's mud on her head, but I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, we'll call that mud. So to answer your question, no skills racing. We'll be reducing the herd. By how much? I really have no idea at this point. I so far have actually managed to work out with the bank where we got a little bit of a loan towards hay prices. One of the bad things about doing everything that we do, including the jerky, is that you have so much overhead that we don't have just like thousands of dollars sitting around in the bank. So when it comes to having to buy hay or whatever, usually what we end up doing is having to go get an operating loan or something like that, or a cash advance, because really when we get paid is when we sell calves or when we sell something through the farm store. So being able to just go out and write a check for $63,000 worth of hay ain't gonna happen. So so we've got a cash advance, let's say, from the bank, like a payday loan kind of thing, so that we can go out and start looking for some hay, and then we'll be able to pay that back. It's actually a very short-term loan that they expect us to pay back when we sell calves. So we're going to be selling some calves this year. We're going to be selling some cows, and hopefully we can get it down to a manageable number where we can make things work. So that's the plan anyway. Okay, I really don't drive down here enough where I have to drive through this portion of the field. I know there's a gate in this fence somewhere. I've got to get over to those cows and give all those a check. That's the other half of the herd is on the other side of this fence. But all the gates are open on this fence so they can move back and forth in between these two pastures. In fact, there's a whole section of fence that's actually missing because it got taken out by a tornado. So that's where we drove through earlier, down there by the stock tank. But I know there's a gate somewhere. So I really want to thank everybody that follows us on Instagram and on Facebook, and of course subscribes on YouTube and all the good places, because you know what's funny is when we go to secure a loan for hay or something like that, it actually matters. Like it's a source of income for us, right? So that's something that the bank actually looks at, even though it's a very non-traditional source of income. It is another way that we're able to support the ranch and the animals on it, and ourselves included. So I got to figure out how to get through all this crap. There's a bunch, I don't know if you can really tell on video, but there's a bunch of weird little coulees and all kinds of stuff through here. So I have to figure out the best way to get through here to get to these cows. That was a fresh pile of poo there. I'm glad I didn't run into that. Okay, more cows. They see us coming. They think we have cake, but I did not bring cake today. So our very last question from Instagram for today was from Robert Vincent. And Robert asked, what is it that you love about ranching? And I can honestly say it's this. It's being able to be out here under, wide open spaces and all that kind of good cliche stuff about being in the West and, the mud on my boots and all that kind of good stuff. But really it is about having the freedom to do what you want to do, to be able to come out and check cows and stop for a few minutes and admire what we've got and be appreciative of the land and everything that came before this. I like the animals. I like having things that rely on you, that you have to be accountable for. And it's not just a time clock. It's a group of calves. It's moms. It's cats sometimes. Sometimes it's even goats or whatever else it may be. But it all comes down to just being a part of a family. And all of us, us here on the ranch, we're all a family. In fact, you guys are even part of that family because you're here with us. So how are you? I don't have any cake. They're all mad I don't have cake. They're all going to come and say hi. And that's where we're going to say bye, because I'm going to get out of here. I got enough crap on my tires. Look at that. Oh, yuck. All right. We're going to sneak on out of here before I get any other evil looks from cows. Everybody looks okay. I don't see any cows that are down. I don't see any calves that are acting goofy. I see a bunch of happy animals. That makes me happy. And I guess that's the best part of ranching, Robert, is that you can make something happy that most people don't think about, I guess. That's what I like about it. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna hit the road. Back into gear we go. You guys gotta get out of my way. I got to go, got places to go. We are going to do this again, where we ask for your questions on Instagram and Facebook, and possibly even on the community page on YouTube. So make sure that you subscribe in as many places as you can. Follow along on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube, and help us as we like we say, we like to explore the ranch life, escape the ordinary. But really, we want to bring you out with us, and that's what we like to do. So we are going to head back home. It's actually today is the day that the kids get to go meet their teachers and all that kind of stuff. So I have to get back to the house and make sure that I'm ready to go. So what is that called? Open house, school open house. And it's Lincoln's first day of kindergarten is coming up on Monday. So because of all the stuff that we have going on, I know I've been doing the weekly vlogs here. Those have come out on Sundays here on Our Wyoming Life. I'm actually not doing one this week. We came back from vacation last week. I vlogged all the way through vacation. I figured now I would take a vacation from the vlog. So there will not be a vlog on Sunday. But I will pick it back up on Monday with the kids' first day in school and what it's going to be like to be, for Erin and I, to be empty nesters. I'm not kind of empty nesters, I guess. The kids are going to be gone for 8 hours a day. That'll be different. And we're going to see how we respond to that. So until then, we'll see you next time and have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time right here on Our Wyoming Life. Actually, if you asked me what I loved about ranching every day for an entire year, I'd give you a different answer every single day. There's just way too many things. I mean, I can't even put my finger on it. It's just every day it's something else. And I don't know, maybe that's what I love about ranching. Who knows? It's a very, very wide open question.